Hey,
guess who's back?
Shit.
Back again, 2 nights in a row.
Guys, it's time to blow stuff up.
Yo, let's blow stuff up.
That's right, here we are back again. Folks, it's the Producer Lounge. Welcome, it's Tuesday. It's episode 209. It's very special.
You're up there.
If you're new here, guys, we're going to talk about music production the whole time. That's
exclusively.
I mean, that is the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
The goal here is to just nerd out. We might get in the weeds. Bear with us. If you have questions or comments, throw them in the chat. If you're watching post on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv/OS400official. It's a little bit of a mouthful. And come hang out. It's 209, guys. And we have Slayde. It's the coolest name, dude. Honestly. It's
thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's Slayde, guys.
It's Slayde.
Let's go.
Slayde
Also
is
my real name,
It's also
Right.
his real
Yeah.
name, which
Also
is
his real name.
crazy.
Insane.
but without the Y.
Without the Y.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Is it with an I instead?
No.
Slide.
Just added
Slide.
the Y.
Slayde.
No. Yeah. I mean, you got to add
Even
the
more
Y and then
Slayde.
make it all caps.
Yeah,
Like,
all
it
caps.
helps,
Of
like-
course, yeah.
Yeah. It helps like solidify. You know? It's like the cool name. Well, sick,
amazing.
dude. We're happy to have you on.
Thanks. Yeah,
Happy
I'm
to have
happy to
you
be here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, was listening to some of your stuff earlier. Fucking just so pretty. Whatever I was listening to specifically.
The
Probably
album.
some recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
was
like mostly
enjoying
down
that, like,
tempo.
yeah.
hmm
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate
I love
it.
that kind of shit.
Yeah. The album
It
is
just came out, eh?
Yeah, it just came out
Okay.
March 22nd. I had like an album release party
Sick.
with it in Bellingham, and I got to like kind of design my own stage and audio visual performance for the album.
Sick.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's super fun.
And I still don't have it ready yet, but we got a video of the whole thing for the whole album showcase. So I'm gonna be able to post that soon.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
Right.
it was a lot of work, but man, it felt incredible to just like be able to put that together
Right.
with
So did
like
you-
my friends.
For
and-
sure. That sounds amazing. I mean, we go to great lengths to try and convince people that we're worth betting on, and you can fucking go and do some cool shit at some point
yeah.
if you can get a little bit
Right. A little bit of
chase behind you.
Right,
People will
right.
start betting on you, and now you can do cool shit.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's
For
what
sure.
the fun is.
Goal. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that is the goal.
It sounds
to do cool
amazing.
shit.
It sounds amazing. I'm jealous.
Thanks. Yeah, like also I feel lucky because the only reason I've been able to do that is because I work with CTYA Sound and Lighting,
nice.
and we've got an HSD rig and a bunch of lights and video wall and stuff like that, and
Badass.
we do like a lot of the smaller festivals in the Pacific Northwest, kind of Washington mostly, and so we do APOG, which stands for Any Patch of Grass. We've done Ohm on the Range for a couple years.
Nice.
Ohm on the range.
Yeah.
Shout out impedance.
Big up impedance.
But yeah, so like I get to work with all this stuff a lot, and it was a really cool moment to be able to like use what I've learned and work with my friends to build this show.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
They're like so much fun. So, yeah. Great. So like when you were writing the album, did you just like did you know you were going to write the album, or were you just like you had a handful of down-tempo tracks and you're like, actually, let me write a couple more of these in a vibe and just put them together?
Yeah, it kind of started out like that. I just had a few down-tempo tracks that I was like, these kind of sound similar, and like I thought it was going to be an EP at first, and then I was like,
okay.
you know what, fuck it, I'm going to make an
Hell
album.
yes. Hell yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the overall theme for it evolved as like I made more tracks, and
Which makes sense.
yeah, it's called insula, which is the part of your brain that houses your limbic system. So it has like all your basic functions and is responsible for processing emotions and yeah, it's like your subconscious.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun theme,
Yeah.
and it's fun to like make it kind of a dreamy album in
Yeah.
that context as well.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked to just kind of the way I imagine the album as like a progression in a story is like the parallels between diving into your subconscious through sleep or whatever means, and also the deep sea, like going into the deep sea, because there's really not a whole lot known about it, and
Sure.
there's not a lot known about our subconscious.
It's also terrifying down there.
Exactly. I'm terrified of deep water.
Fucking the
Going into
creatures
my
down there.
subconscious,
That,
bro.
Terrifying down
I'd rather
there.
go into that than deep fucking water.
Yeah.
I'd rather go on a heroic dose of mushrooms than have to swim in the ocean.
I love watching like videos of the deep sea and like all
Dude,
the life down there,
same.
but like
Yeah.
actually being down there in some submarine or something, I would be.
I'd rather
freaking
be
the
in
fuck
space,
out.
dude. I'd rather go to space.
Same.
Head is just
Yeah.
I mean, one pinhole and
Yeah.
Yep,
you're done.
you implode.
Yeah. So one step deeper, the atmosphere on the album is insane. I love it throughout the entire thing.
Thank you.
What's your go-to when you're creating atmosphere? Like are you trying to create some pads and then you go from there, or do you find a thing and you're like
like,
let's
what's the
throw it in
methodology?
reverb? Yeah. Or are you a granular guy? Blah 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 blah.
Kind of all of the above.
Okay. Sick. It kind of depends.
Like, yeah, all right. A lot of the album stuff started with just a melody, and that's kind of different from my normal production where I start with like a drum loop or try to write a bass line.
Same.
But yeah, I started with a melody or like trying to create some atmospheric noises, kind of like pads, but more kind of on the leaning atonal, and then
Yep.
and then yeah, putting reverb, delay. I also like to put Portal on the master and just resample the whole track.
Now we're cooking.
And just sit,
Damn.
just
Now we're cooking with
just
gas.
sit through and scroll through all the presets.
Yeah.
Just because it's a fast way to get cool glitchy sounds out of a melody and like
Totally.
turn something into a pad that in a way that you wouldn't normally think of a pad.
Right.
Yeah. And then also things like Infiltrator too for the drums.
Infiltrator.
Yeah.
What this is.
It's
Sounds
kind of like
familiar.
an all-in-one plugin. It's got like distortion, filters,
Yeah, pull that shit up.
What
Jimmy.
is this?
effects.
Do you know who it's by? I forget who it's by.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Infiltrator.
spelled that right or not. Looks
Oh
like
yeah, Devious Machines.
that makes sense.
Infiltrator Square.
Infiltrator 2. I like how there's no picture.
Yeah. What the fuck?
They're like, nah, fuck you, dude.
You
What
didn't.
does that
You
price
didn't
say?
accept the cookies.
129. That's not bad. Oh yeah. That
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Huh.
We'll have to test out a demo or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I also
See
really
if
want to
John
get.
can get us a demo.
Yeah.
And there's a cool randomizer button on it that just randomly cycles through all the presets.
Sick.
And then
Cool.
you can also randomize within the sequencer.
Nice. Okay. I love any plugin that has the randomize option. I wish every plugin had that.
Yeah,
So much
yeah,
fun.
I know.
When you're just doing a little resample or like your method where you're throw it on the master, see what happens. I gotta do that more. I always forget about that move.
I need to do that more too.
It's such a big part of my process, honestly. I work a lot in audio. Like, I'll get a sound and then just keep resampling it to get even weirder sounds.
Same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
Yes.
I'll start with something pretty simple and then just iterate it.
Whittle.
Yeah.
Iterate constantly. I do the exact same thing.
Iterate.
It's the
Don't.
fucking move.
Don't pay mind to that screen.
That's cool though, man. I always love making atmospheric stuff. It's such a vibe, especially after you smoke a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
You just get lost in this soundscape.
Yeah.
It's always my favorite.
I also kind of took a different approach to like writing melodies.
Go on.
I also used like random note generators to make something to make something that's that kind of sounds nice and make sure it's like in a key and then I'll record the MIDI from it from whatever generator I'm using and you know how you can if you click and like drag around in the MIDI section and you have the little listen button on, it just plays all the notes that you go over.
Yeah.
I recorded doing that. So like I would click around and then with all these random generated notes, I'd find like a cool rhythm by dragging the mouse over it.
And then you just
Interesting. What?
you're like, oh, that's the rhythm. Let me figure out what it is. And then
Right.
boom, 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 boom. Yep. I've kind of done that with like a mud pie. Like I'll just find a good moment in like a mud pie. I'm like, oh, let me just figure out exactly what's happening here, and then I'll just use that as the actual main hook.
Yeah.
I'll just extract it out of there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's exact same concept, just with melodies instead of basses and weird noises.
Right.
I love these kind of things because I'm always trying to figure out how to randomize the MIDI into like a usable piece of something that I farmed from electronics. So that's a fun one. Like
Totally.
Just randomly drag. So you're recording the MIDI from another thing and dragging it, so then the MIDI.
Well, you can record
Shows
the
up?
MIDI directly into another channel.
So if you drag, does it like on the other channel that gets recorded? Is it like recording like a weird little cascading?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then some of it,
That sounds sick.
I also just like noodled around on the keys for a while and found something that I liked.
I wish I could do that.
I'm not very good at like playing piano, but
Yeah.
it's mostly just like using my ears to figure out what sounds good and then like kind of replaying it and replaying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I try and jam like that, I only play white keys. Because then I know I'm in scale every time.
Hilarious.
Because every time I have to like think about the scale, I'm just like,
As long as you start on E, just play an E minor. Perfect. All white keys.
True. Yeah.
And then you can move it around.
Yeah.
But also, don't be scared of accidentals.
A minor.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
What makes
A minor.
it makes it jazz and or rave.
Dirt.
You know?
Just damn it.
Jazz and or rave.
Semitones, baby. Just like up and down. Like, who cares about scale?
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Just use your ears.
Yeah, just a root note. If it sounds sick, and if everything else is atonal, if that one thing is like in its own made up key, but it sounds sick, nothing matters but the DJ trying to figure out what song to mix out of.
Yeah.
Like, and that's either future you problem or future whoever the DJ is, like,
Right.
which if they can't figure out how to mix it, it's their fault.
Yeah. Be a better
That's
DJ.
true.
Correct?
Yeah. DJ
You can
better,
mix.
dude.
Put that on a shirt.
I'm
DJ
pretty sure.
better, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can mix any song with any song. It's just you got to find the right moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a couple
Maybe.
tricks up your sleeve.
Right. Right.
It can be done.
It can be done.
Master tempo off and change the BPM.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially if the next song is going to have
There
a
are
bunch
no
of weird
rules.
shit. Yeah. Pull up some crazy shit
Makes sense, I guess.
in the context.
In context.
Right, exactly.
The context could be a train wreck.
That is always something good to keep in mind. Is
Use
like,
it to your
there really
advantage.
aren't any rules to this shit, right?
No.
Like there's kind of some guidelines you
Yeah.
know, people have developed through the years where it's like, if you do it this way, it will probably sound good. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can like, I need to remember that more.
Yeah.
Fucking be a little more free.
Totally. Like, I feel like a lot of people get stuck trying to make music that they know other people are going to like
100%.
and just get stuck in that mindset. And I think it's helpful to like try to make something that doesn't sound good.
Let's go.
Just like I've
get it out
done
of
it
your
a few
system.
times, and it actually ended up being a pretty sick track. And you just start by like, okay, I'm gonna make the worst sounds possible.
I mean, yeah, I did kind of try and do that, but it was more of like in an ignorant fashion. And
Yeah.
that's the song that somebody wants to sign, which is retarded. It's like, don't. That's the
Really,
wrong
that
thing.
one?
Like, that's, okay, I guess just make more stupid stuff.
It does
More
work.
ignorant
More
stuff.
stupid stuff.
Yeah. The dumber, the better.
Speaking of making, so you released the album of beautiful, majestic
Thank you.
shit. Are you going harder at the moment with your tune writing?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's what I want to hear.
I've actually got an up-tempo EP releasing on Hemiwave.
Banger.
Oh, on Hemiwave. Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Hemiwave.
Yep. On Friday, actually.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yes.
Yeah.
Sick.
Stacking that
Well,
shit. Wow.
folks on
This
Patreon,
man is prolific.
when this episode will be
Get in
on the
there.
Patreon. So if you're watching this on Patreon, it's live right now.
Hell yeah.
I've heard the Hemiwave crew is really nice to work with. Like everyone I've talked to
Sick.
was like, "Oh yeah, they're the fucking best."
Yeah.
It's a Yoko and Skinny Limbs.
Yep.
Cool.
They're the it's their project, and they also have like a little A&R team now for the label
Let's
stuff.
go. Big ups.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool and
Nice.
made the process of releasing with them really easy.
That's
Nice.
fun. What kind of stuff did they normally release?
They do like dubstep and also weird glitch hop stuff
cool.
too.
Okay.
Left field stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have
Like
a little bit of range.
Inspecta
That's sick.
Has released
Yeah.
with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Big ups.
Inspecta, back left.
Back left.
Oh,
I
maybe
think
I've seen that
Hokey,
then.
Nice.
Hokey Boy just did a release with them.
Yeah, they also
Hokey.
Okay.
I also released on one of their compilations, and they had like oh god, I'm blanking on who else was on it, but
Right,
It
right.
was like 9 people or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can picture that cover. I can't remember.
I wouldn't
who all's on
remember
it.
either.
Bunch of homies though, right?
Yeah, a bunch of homies
Bunch
for
of
sure.
dudes from the group chat at least.
Yeah. The,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
legendary
we want to
group
try and
chat.
get Skinny Limbs on here.
Yeah.
We hit him up after the
We should
Casper
make a
show.
compilation of all the times we've actually said it on the show.
Right. But like we asked him after the Casper show, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't really like. I'm not like." We're like,
Oh, you
Dude,
talked to him in
open-
person about it?
"No, we talked to him on
Oh, okay, yeah.
the Instagram." But he's like, "Oh no." I'm like, "Dude, you opened for Casper. Like what? Come on. Like come on to the pot. Like you're a fucking legend
Legend.
already.
You're a G,
like just
dog.
get on here.
Let's
Like
get it
you'll be
going.
fine,
Yeah.
bro.
Anyway.
Come hang out and eat some tacos. And
Come hang out.
talk
It's
some
also
shit.
okay if you don't
Stop
want to.
talking shit.
Correct. I'll stop referencing you
Yeah.
like every other episode.
He's a low-key genius though for it.
Nag him.
I learned this cool little trick kind of from Slayde and John when I went over to their house. Apparently in Ableton in the
Their house.
sampler.
No, I don't live with John,
I was
but
gonna say.
You guys are roommates now. You're
Yeah.
moving in.
basically for 2 weeks.
Long enough.
Yeah.
Apparently in the sampler though, you can it's like a multi-sampler now as of 12, or maybe it was in 11. But you can have
simpler or sampler?
Sampler.
Okay.
Yeah. You they had like 4 different mud pies in one sampler, and you were like scrolling through it somehow or something. I actually didn't ask you guys how you set it up.
Explain
But
this.
There's a sample selector section. That's
like a drop down or something?
It goes up. It's just a drop down for sampler. I forgot
like I know
what
this.
button it
really,
is, but
I'd never seen it before.
but yeah, you can use different samplers in it, and what we did was just like pull a bunch of different Reece bases into each one. And then if you set the sample selector to distribute equally, then you have specific sections where you can choose which sample's playing.
Assign a knob to like the selector.
Yeah, you macro it out.
Do you know if that was in 11? Did you just learn about this recently too?
I think it's been there for a long time.
You had
The
11,
third one
right?
is an example of it.
Because
Or the one down and to the left.
Wolg showed me a couple years ago.
Shout out Wolg.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
Wolgy.
Or maybe no, he did it with effects. I don't know if it's new or not.
So it's basically lanes for your sampler.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
and you can
With different samples in
map a
each
knob
one.
to it and select between
Okay.
all of them.
Okay.
Oh, so I guess in theory you could have up to 127 mud pies, and you just fucking cycle
Oh
through.
my god!
I mean,
you're-
you could sell that shit for a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm so gonna try
just
that.
one rack.
One rack to
About
rule them all.
127
rule them
Reece
all.
samples.
All the Reece bases.
All the Reece bases you could ever imagine. There's no combination you cannot achieve.
I gotta step up my Reece base game. Definitely lacking in that department.
Oh, dude, I love making Reece bases.
They're sick, right?
They're fun.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it in a song, I'm like, oh yeah, those exist. Why don't I fucking do that?
I barely do them either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. And if I do use them, it's usually like the most OG form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just the OG one, like, and it's in a chill kind of moment because I just used an 808 in the drop. And I'm like, well, I can't use an 808 again. I'm like, oh, let's do a Reece. You know, and it's great. But I don't normally
the classic
make,
like low pass Reece.
Yeah, I don't normally make like your dead limit style, like
noisy.
Like I don't make those a lot. I don't know why. I just stray away from that sound when I'm making aggressive things. Yeah, I lean more towards the foghorn.
Right,
the foghorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you try and make like a dead limit style one though.
I mean,
That'd be sick.
I know how to,
Yeah.
and I've made them kind of before, not in years.
I don't know how.
It's just a Reece, but with saws, and then you distort the shit out of it.
Oh, cool.
And OTT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick. Now I know.
And it's a lot of flavor along the way. Like
Yeah.
different distortion units at different levels, you know, trying to catch them just hitting right.
And getting like the modulation right to for with like you can do it with detuning or
Or
like
volume.
phase modulation and
there's
phase
like
plant
3 or
and
4 different ways to like achieve the
What would be the phase
phasing.
modulation version for you in Faceplant? I use Faceplant a lot. I
You
would like to
just
know.
you attach
asking for a friend.
you attach another oscillator to the phase of your signal.
Okay. Yes.
And then you turn the
Detune
modulator
it.
off and detune it a little bit,
And then
or you
you-
can with phase plant you can just like adjust the phase.
Right, exactly. And it'll then just sit right in between them.
True.
Yeah, when you can get the modulation to hit real
Fuck
well
yeah.
on a Reece, and it's in time too for like most of the notes you're going to use.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. You're like, oh, now it's a 16th. Whenever I play A, and that happens to be the 5th. Let's go.
I love
great.
pitching
Good time.
Reece bases up and down, like using the pitch wheel or just automating it. Yeah, because then you get that like
Right.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Especially when you go
So sick.
when you go low and it's just just phasing real nice and slow.
Right.
And like
Chugging
10 hertz.
along.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I remembered Noisia saying something along the lines of they like to have that like 5 hertz kind of like automation with their sounds because it kind of gives that illusion that it's like almost slower, like the room is sucking. Like
Yeah, those dudes are mental wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next level shit. I want to hang out in their studio one day.
Well, there's all
5
these.
hertz. What?
So
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that. What?
Please explain to our
Sorry,
listeners.
I'm a high, so I was a little slow on that.
5 hertz, yeah. So since we can't hear under 20 hertz, the human ear doesn't hear that low. They try and incorporate like LFOs or any sort of modulation under 20 hertz, like 5 hertz, 10 hertz kind of thing. Specifically like on your basses to give that like slow pump that almost gives the illusion of your bass is actually deeper than it is.
That's so sick.
And then it pulses the room in a fucking weird way when you're in a big spot.
That is so sick.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Nick from Noisia is like huge with just the physicality of sounds.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing he talks about when you're clipping or when you're distorting. You have to think about it like it's like you're trying to mimic a speaker reaching its limit.
Right.
So think about that.
Limit.
Like,
Sorry, that was horrible.
right, but like you can
I
couple
shouldn't
it.
have laughed.
You can couple it like with a bit of convolution because technically the box that the speaker is resonating in is now hitting a node when the speaker reaches its limit because it's hitting another tone as it clips, adding the distortion, therefore getting more distortion in the box. So there's all these like little thoughts to think about that makes it sound acoustically accurate to what our brains want it to do. So you can like, and I'm kind of convinced this is why Noisia songs can like make a room bend to its will.
Yeah.
Where like normally like you can be listening in a shitty room and it's like, well, there's no song that's just going to sound good in here. And then a Noisia song comes on and you're like,
Yeah.
how the fuck does it sound good in here? Like, what the fuck? Like, I think
I don't know if you've witnessed this.
it's crazy. We witnessed it at the church, which sounds like dog shit.
Yeah, the church is. It's
the
a
Noisia
big,
track sounded
empty,
great.
If you've been there, fucking
Church.
It's a church.
It's
huge.
It's meant for a choir,
point.
not for.
It's basically
So it's an actual
boosting all
church
the
venue.
sound directly
Right.
back
Sick.
into the middle of the dance floor. The shape of it. It's just a speaker.
Right. It funnels it back down to you.
Yeah.
On top of a building.
Right. And specifically
Fucked
enjoys the 120s,
Yeah.
the
But
1K to really
bunch of drum and
muddle
bass
around.
all night, and then Noisia, and it was like, this is insane how good this sounds.
Yeah, I don't
it
like,
was on another level from everything.
and it wasn't like a new Noisia track.
No.
You know, it's
Crazy.
like
Like
2016
15 years ago.
Yeah, no,
10 years ago.
But it's like not insane. But I think there's something behind like the physicality of it, where it's like by the time it ends, by the time it's coming out of the speaker, it's already doing everything the speaker can do, so it's not gonna color it in any way or something. I don't really know. This is all pure fucking
So
some sci-fi shit.
Podcast shit.
I've been learning about room acoustics and like
it's fascinating.
live sound a lot over the past few years.
Let's go.
Working with it a lot, and like kind of to go back to like the super low frequencies. It makes sense. Like a lot that their music stands out more because of that, because a lot of people like, and if you go online and like look up how to master and mix, people are going to tell you to like, oh, cut your sub. You don't want any of that muddy low end. And with their studios, at least now, like they can, I don't know what their studios have, but I'm sure they have some pretty insane low frequency extension subs to
sure.
like actually be able to at least measure those vibrations. And it makes me wonder, like, what kind of mic do you need to like hook up an analyzer to something below 20 hertz?
Yeah.
Right. It's like it's basically
like a big dish.
Right. It's another speaker about the same size.
Super light.
That can vibrate the
Just
same.
kind of gets the
Which is a big
something like that.
Which is a big cone.
That makes sense.
Like,
that makes
damn.
a lot of sense,
Basically do the
actually.
same thing. You just wire it backwards. You know, it's the same old thing
that
where you
makes
turn
sense.
your headphone into the mic for the DJ deck. You just plug it into the mic channel.
Yeah.
You can talk into your headphone. It's the exact same kind of thing. But yeah, if you were to make like a paper that's like super big and just like can like pick up 5 hertz.
Dude.
That'd be nice. They gotta have. It'd be a fun piece of equipment to have around.
It would
Yeah.
be for sure.
Definitely.
Just like
yeah.
a low
that in
end.
the corner.
Oh my God.
What's the sale
cool.
over
We're
there?
just-
It's not a sale.
We have a constant like monitoring of below 20 hertz in the house.
Yeah.
Just to see. Wow, we had a big spike.
Dude, you could hear the earthquake in
We
China.
might start figuring some shit out. low-key.
Honestly, though, like you'd probably be like, "Oh, there's a lot of traffic on the freeway right now."
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, the train
Totally.
that's like way over there just went by.
Yeah.
Dude, I think
You
there's
get
a
the fucking
subway that
rumble.
runs underneath us from
Pretty
DIA.
into that.
Oh shit.
You could literally record that shit like in your house.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Wait, we
just
have
goes
we
through
have that Alien
buildings.
song, the X-Files song somewhere
Yeah,
on there.
go to number.
Yeah, maybe don't. I have to go through all of them.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
The time has passed, but we'll fix it when we get a longer USB.
I have one of the notes I wrote down. Caleb's sand experiment.
Oh
You
yeah.
want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, sure. So I filled my speaker stands with sand because they were resonating.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
The
at
Yeah.
a
actual
specific
poles
speaker.
and the
Yeah.
bass.
Yeah,
since it's
because
hollow.
like I was running a bunch of sweeps. I'm reading this book called Mixing Secrets for a Small Studio, and that's one of the first things. He's like, "Hey, this is cheap and easy, and you're going to find that your speaker stands are going to resonate at like 90 or 230 or 490, like, you know, a couple random ones that he said. But you can definitely, if you run some sweeps through, you can. It's like you can hear them buzz,
Yeah,
and you
totally.
can kind of see what's happening.
Right.
And I didn't get as much of a change as I thought I was, but they're definitely not. There's no sound, which I'm
Yeah,
happy enough with
that's
that.
huge.
Like
Yeah.
not having the stands sing is great.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost me that much at all. It cost me like, I mean, honestly, probably like $1.50 in sand, but I bought like a 20-pound
150?
a bag. No,
Okay, I was like
$1.50,
an actual $1.50.
like $1.50.
$1.50.
In terms of the sand
You paid
that ended up in
$150 for
the
sand.
Yeah, no.
Cool. Thank God.
That'd be some nice sand.
That'd be some nice sand.
It is organic, so it makes sense. No,
Organic.
Whole grain.
right.
Whole grain. Gluten-free.
Always, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was
I'll
hilarious.
put some
like,
of that sand to use.
Yeah,
might as well.
I thought maybe it would do more, but it didn't.
I know. I was so
But
bummed.
I'm kind of okay with just the sound.
Well, what were you trying to
that
deal
goes
with?
away. Well, there's a big dip at like the 90, in from like 90 to 105, and then it kind of it starts to peak back up from like 105 to 120. And it's really mainly because I'm in the corner.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we did a bunch of experiments when we first moved into these rooms, where we just had the speakers and just the measuring mic, and we're like, all right, where gets me the flattest response, but
Right.
also like you're gonna have a thing like that.
No matter what.
Yeah.
In a small room.
Yeah, in the small room, because there's a crossover between the pressure waves and the actual sound waves, where they actually do start to bounce off the walls and cancel each other out
Right.
in instead of just going through. And that's where that is.
Damn.
But we found if you can push it towards the densest corner, then you can kind of push that, like, the dip into a manageable range.
Right.
Because if I had it in the middle, then the dip is like right at 200 and it also boosts at like 250 and you're like, it's right in the mud. It's like right in the mud.
Don't want it there.
And if I push it into the corner, then it bumps it down to like the 90 to 120 area, which is the bummer spot for like a kick drum thump. But
Yeah.
I can do with that if I know what the 200s are actually going to do.
Right.
But now me and Dave have some thoughts of ways to kind of minimize that range yet, but we haven't done any tests yet. So, because we got to build some thick ass walls.
Right.
That have to be like fake and hanging.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's really
acoustics
difficult.
is fun.
It's really difficult to deal with like small room acoustics.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
It's insane.
because what you're talking about is a room mode, and yeah, it depends on
Room
where
mode
you
and
where
anti mode
yeah
right at the
yeah
exact same time.
it's a peak and a null. And like there's actually a room mode calculator.
Yep.
You can just like see where your peaks and nulls are in
Which
your room.
they just updated, and you can make non-square rooms now. Like you can add like a closet and stuff like that. Yeah, which is pretty fun.
What was it called again?
It's just like room calculator. Yeah, I can't remember
the
what it's
room
called.
mode calculator.
Yeah.
I think it's
Here, folks,
one of
we'll
the only
show it to
ones.
you guys. I was just on it the other day.
Yeah, it is really fucking cool. It shows you like the red and blue like build up areas in your room. Like that's just fucking sick to visualize. I want to do it for my basement because I have the fucking weirdest shape down there. I guess it's not that weird. It's just like
Is it
long
this one or is it
rectangle
this
with
one?
tiny rectangle on the side. And,
It's the AMREC or
Yeah,
whatever.
Hang on, I got a sticky key here. There we go.
Whoa.
I also can't use it on this
AMROC.
because of the
ad block.
Yeah, it's just too good at blocking ads.
It thinks the whole website's an ad.
Right. It's like, no.
They did update it a little bit.
Let's do 13 by 9
18.
by 9, which is what mine is basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Damn. 9 wide, 9 tall, 13
long. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that 13 long.
And you can see here, folks, all these modes. And right.
Yeah, it's crazy
Oh.
how they're like in weird
Wait a minute.
like
Do we need to?
zones throughout the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
And it's really cool. So
There we go.
if you're at your house, you can click those little bars on the keyboard,
Yeah,
and it'll play a single note, and then you can go stand in that corner of your room, and you'll hear that
Yeah.
frequency how it like builds up in the little pocket it's displaying.
Which is exactly how I figured out the stands were resonating, because you hit like the 106 and the whole stand would just buzz, and you're like, oh.
Oh my god.
Which this is exactly what I deal with. I have a mode that sits in this corner right here of the room, and it has that, and it has one that stands upright, one that goes horizontally,
Yep.
one that goes horizontally just across the back, and one that goes all the way across the whole back of the room, and they're all like right in a row.
I wish you could display.
It's like so bad right there.
Dude, isn't that terrifying? to
You got
look
it.
at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my room.
Yeah, just all these things. You're like,
All the way around it.
I wish they had a mode where
Gotta sit in the perfect spot.
yeah.
right. If they had a mode where you could kind of collapse all the frequencies together in little pockets, and it gave you like a heat map of like these are the most extreme spots.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That'd be kind of sick. Well, that would probably just be corners, though, I guess, right? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
To some extent.
Depends on the room.
Yeah, and it depends on
But definitely corners.
yeah, and you'll
Look at that one.
Notice it only goes up to like 350 hertz.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that
is
the
crazy.
frequencies get shorter.
And because everything becomes directional too, they can't really calculate it without knowing the sound source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where everything underneath here is more of a pressure wave, so it's gonna resonate in these four corners no matter where you put the sub. Like it doesn't matter.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just gonna the whole thing is gonna hit there.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. Which is kind of fun about a sub. You can put your sub wherever you want in the room. Honestly,
Just like
it
have it in the corner.
It doesn't
by the
matter.
ceiling.
True.
What matters most is like where you're sitting.
Yeah, exactly. Like as long as you can kind of get in a position where that mode and anti-mode aren't gonna like, or at least that you can deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like it'd be sweet to push it all the way up to like 3K, but that's not gonna happen.
Right.
That doesn't work. You just need a bigger room in order to push it farther and farther down.
My argument is, can I push it to be at like 120 is where the boost happens, and then maybe it goes down after that and then into my mid range, so I can just kind of naturally push down in that area,
right, and just make it okay.
Because I tend to feel like,
but it's the opposite.
I don't want to get rid of that area naturally, but then when I listen to my tunes, I'm like, they have too much of that. Especially when it's like at mixing, it's like that's causing problems with the distortion and shit like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what like Sonar Works is for. Like
I know.
EQ correction, but
EQ correction is just, it sketches me out.
Yeah, it's.
I thought it was the best thing ever.
I'm
like
using it.
Yeah, I technically still do.
You do it on like 50% or something though, right?
I kind of did that, and then I moved back to 100. But now with how I've redone the room, I'm tempted not to use it at all.
Yeah.
And just get used to the color of the room and reference a lot, like I've been doing.
Yeah, look at other references is a big thing for me with mixing.
Yeah, that, and I'm not since I've been using Vision 4X religiously for like 2 years now. Like I know what most of the tracks I like look like, so so I have a stronger lean towards I can kind of mix a track without even hearing it in terms of just the initial like, oh, I can kind of get it there. So I'm less concerned if I have like a weird thing in the hundreds if I know that it's there. Like if I know it's there, I can not trust my ears. Like, oh, the kick sounds boxy. Like, just roll, and then you're gonna inevitably print it out and then listen in the garage.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, oh no, actually it's fine.
Yeah,
and then after like 15 of those, you won't hear the mud anymore, and you just be like, oh no, the room sounds the way it does. I just know how to react.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't get there until you stop using the Sonarworks and kind of know what you're doing. Like I think the Sonarworks is good for people who are learning, and your room is shit.
For sure.
Like the moment you can get some.
What do you use?
Oh yeah.
I don't use anything.
Nice.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just.
But you have some treatment.
Yeah. So right now, I moved my studio up into the CTYA warehouse.
Nice.
That's
the basement.
sick.
Yeah, and my boss built a little. He treated the whole upstairs room essentially, and was trying to make it like the best acoustic sounding room that we have access to.
Sick.
And
where is this?
It's in Bellingham.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used that room to mix the album.
Sick.
And master it. My friend Kenzie mastered it. And yeah, in the same room, because we all live together and work, or we used to live together, and we just live in the same area still.
Right, exactly. I might have to swing on through when we're looking to mix an album, because I would love to have an excursion to Six Studio to like mix an album kind of thing.
That would
Totally,
be cool.
yeah.
It's like I want the album to sound the same kind of thing, so we might as well go to a whole new room where I'm so like unfamiliar,
Yeah.
and it's gonna have a fresh sound, which is cool.
Yeah. It's really nice to have a treated room, but like I've also, I mean, gotten away with not having it for so long and producing in either like living rooms or my own room. If you can move into a bigger room with your studio, I suggest doing it. Like, just because smaller rooms are so much harder to mix in, like just because of the acoustics. And I feel like with bigger rooms, like I like to get up and just like walk around and feel where the nodes are for when I'm making a bass or something. When I'm not in like a nice studio.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try and do that in my small room anyways.
Yeah, totally.
Because I know the 30 hertz hits great on the opposite corner.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll be like, I just need to know if there's vibes.
Right.
And to know if it vibes, I need like a bunch of thumps. So I'll just go into that corner and be like, nope, it's not quite there.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it doesn't really matter if the sub's there or not, but it helps me really judge.
Right.
Because I know it's basically being bass boosted.
Right.
So if it still sucks, then I'm like, all right, well, it's not
where you're sitting.
right. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also use a lot of visual analyzers
Same.
for like making sure
What do you
my
use?
mix
What's
is
your
good.
go-to?
So
And
honestly,
don't say flux.
no, I don't use flux. I've been loving mini meters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shout out.
just for like the spectrum analyzer
Mini Meters.
and the spectrogram.
The spectrogram is
The
the best.
spectrogram is insane
Dude.
on mini
Goated.
meters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you-
all the other ones that you can pay for, like Isotopes Insight and Vision 4X,
Yeah.
it just doesn't have as high of resolution.
Yeah. That is one thing I noticed.
And I
with
work in Ableton instead of FL, so I don't remember what FL's is called.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But FL has a really good spectrogram too.
Yeah, mini meters. That's one thing I've noticed where you can see the points like so clearly with everything.
Right.
And with flux, because that's what I use, you can like fine tune it and get things a little bit sharper, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not like fucking, I want it like fine tune, fucking perfect. Where flux kind of has this like blur kind of
for
thing
sure.
that like smooths it out or something.
Right.
Which is fine. It's whatever, but I don't know.
I also use M oscilloscope
Oh,
to
really?
just like if I'm like working on headphones or something where I can't monitor my sub, I'll make sure
Fair.
I'll put it on whatever bass I'm working on, and then make sure that it's at least sine like.
Okay.
So, because a clean sine wave is going to be like your nicest sounding sub.
Right.
So, as long as you see a sine wave in the distorted bullshit you're making,
Right. At least you've got some hope.
you're going to be good. Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Maybe I should try that more. I never look at the like waveforms really, unless I'm like playing with my side chain and just fine tuning that. That's like the only time I look.
hmm
Maybe
I do.
should play with that more.
I definitely look at
Yeah.
that shit.
I look at
Yeah.
that scope all the time.
If you can see like your dynamics between sounds, that's super important to look at.
Yeah.
Especially if you
I've
don't.
been running just my like master clipper just on my screen as I'm working.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
just working straight into a clipper like that.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I also do that. I work
Hell yeah.
straight into a clipper and a limiter. It used to be
know.
just a limiter, but now
Yeah,
it's
same.
both.
Yeah.
Have you,
Yeah.
so you're a face mount guy, have you gotten the new kilohertz clipper?
No. So,
Bro,
Dude,
snag it. It's free and it's super
It's
clean.
free.
hell
So
yeah.
it's
All right.
insane.
And I still
Insanely
haven't
clean.
gotten it. We've talked about it
Sick.
like almost every episode the past
Dude.
4 weeks, and I forget every time.
Oh, damn.
It's my
Okay.
favorite clipper now.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
so clean.
Yeah, I just honestly I haven't really been producing that much this year. Like
This year?
yeah,
Okay.
because I was
Busy boy.
working on the album December through
Lots of mixing.
through February.
Yeah.
Lots of mixing and
I
mastering.
also haven't
and
written
then-
this year almost at all.
Yeah.
I've been mixing
Damn.
as well. I've just
Yeah.
been working on old tracks because we're trying to get a bunch
It's
released.
gonna feel
Nice.
crazy.
Hell
writing
yeah.
the first song
So,
again.
dude, I'm just
That's
gonna
dope.
make the most ignorant dubstep I
Let's
can.
go.
I'm so excited. yeah. It's just gonna be retard
I feel
stuff.
that.
And then that
Yeah.
one's gonna get signed next. And you're like, God damn it!
Son of a bitch.
If I know what the game is, then I can play it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But like I haven't known what the game is, and I also like making epics.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'll make a song that's like a full theme,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Yeah, I mean it's cool." And then you just make something that doesn't have a theme, but it just rips. And they're like, "No, this one's sick." And you're like,
Right.
"Oh, okay, all right, I'll make
Alright.
more of these than the other." I like these, but if everybody wants those, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
That's how I
Like,
feel.
it's
Yeah.
just more art that I get to have fun making, because that's the fun part. That's why we're here.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, it's so much fun to like forget that you made a song is like one of the best things ever. Like 3 months, you're like, what is this? Oh, I vaguely remember this.
And then it's actually cool.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
actually cool. And
Let's
you're
go.
like, you go back into the DAW and you're like, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I doing?
What
Like,
was I doing?
and it was just like,
was I?
it's just like
Yeah.
4 or 5 months ago, and you're like, what the fuck? Okay,
Right.
cool. I was lost. This
Right.
is sick. Like that's the best. I love that shit.
Do you delete project files if you're just not feeling the track at all, or do you
No.
just hoard?
Amen, brother.
I hoard.
Amen,
same
brother.
here.
'Cause,
Same.
honestly, I don't like make a ton of music. I spend a lot of time on one project just working it into something that I like.
I love you so much. You're
I'm
like
starting to
right on my
appreciate that more and
vibe. I
more.
love that.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
one of those guys who will just start a track like every day kind of thing, and if I don't like it, I'm like, whatever, move on, next track.
Word.
And then I finally, after like 100 songs, it's like, oh, these like 10 are actually pretty cool, and then it's like,
Damn.
okay, these 5 like I actually really want to do, and that usually goes to like an EP or something. Like I have an EP that's almost ready, and it was basically made through that concept.
Nice.
But I would like to just make like 5 tracks that one month, and then just like the whole next month, just like really work on those. Like just mix up my workflow, you know?
Yeah.
I think that might be healthy.
When I first started producing, I joined a collective called Assembly Line, and
That's a cool name.
It's kind of like a more on the side of super experimental noise and bass music and glitch and all the weird stuff. And the idea is to just make a track in a week and put it out. And I did that for a little while.
Oh yeah.
You can still check out what I have on there.
Oh cool.
Yeah,
Fun.
they keep everything up on SoundCloud.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that helped me a lot for learning how to finish tracks because I would just like sit down with this one idea and then work on it until it's done.
Right,
Or,
until it makes a thing.
yeah, or until like I'm sick of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But usually, I mean, at least for me, it's like 1 in 20 I can't make happen. And
Yeah.
like half of the 20 are like mid-grade. Like I'm like, I'll play these out, but I won't try and release them.
Yeah,
And
for
then I'll
sure.
have like 10 that I'm like, I could see who wants these. But of course, those also I've like worked to death to get them to that,
Right. Yeah, of
you know,
course.
to that point. Like they did not start that good. I sat there and kept working and doing the iterations
Yeah.
until something was like, oh, there it is. And she sings, she has life.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
it is just a different workflow though, for sure.
She has life.
She has life.
She has legs.
She has
She's got sea legs.
She
Look at her go.
sings.
Yeah.
Look at her go, mate.
All right.
I've been really enjoying this plugin called Kronos.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's one my buddy Jack made because I fucking really wanted a plugin like this.
Jack
is
Lyon?
Jack Lyon.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Jack Lyon.
And
Shout out.
We love you, bro.
I forget who made it, but there was one that does exist, but it was made for like Ableton 9, so using it now, it's just like really fucking buggy. So yeah, I talked to this dude, and he fucking made the plugin, and it literally is just a time tracker. That's it. And it
Nice.
just it tracks your time. Like, here's how you
But
put
it
8
tracks the
hours in on this
procession.
day,
Yeah,
and then
which
8
is
hours
nice.
this day, and 5 hours this day. Yeah, and it's
Like it knows which
That's
times
dope.
you open it up and then you save and close, so it like shows you each time,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
great.
And I'm really fascinated by. So I've learned, usually in the first like 4 hours or 4.5 hours, like the main, like track is just kind of there. You know, like the core ideas, the
Yeah.
riffs, like all of that,
Mhm.
and then like the next 4 hours is maybe like fine tuning that a little bit. It's like one day and one just big long session kind of thing.
Right.
And that's where I'll usually just kind of either like call it or like move on to the next track kind of thing.
Right, for sure.
But I've been tracking the times for this EP now, and some of the songs are getting up into like the 70-hour range. Like one of them just hit like 72 or 73 or something.
Damn.
And it's making me think like, holy fuck. I get like the idea like there in 8 hours, like what the fuck am I doing for these next 60 hours that like it took so long to get here? What the fuck is happening?
Caleb,
Pick me.
Go ahead.
To be fair, you are a listener, which is I kind of do a lot too. Where you'll be like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go work on this song, and like 50% of it is just you hitting spacebar
I know.
and just listening and being like, oh, I'm gonna, wait, let me, or you're like, all right, I just did a thing for like an hour. Now I'm just gonna hit play and listen and hear what I did, and then it's like 30 minutes later, you made it, 30 seconds into the song, you're like, oh, the hi-hats are bad. And then next thing you know, you're on a hi-hat tangent. And then you listen to the song again. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I meant to just listen for this one thing.
Dude.
And then you're on a tangent about this thing and this thing. And then, like, the whole process, you're also listening to the whole track, like, multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for 20 minutes out of the hour, you're not actually touching the keyboard. You're just like...
I know. It's even worse
Just
when
making
I'm like
sure it's
stoned
good.
also.
like
'Cause I'm just
stoked
like,
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I do that all the
Just
time.
making sure it's
Dude, that's why. So something me and Jack talked about. It would be cool to implement this into the Kronos plugin. If you could track active time and inactive time,
Right.
So you could
yeah.
really see like
Yeah.
those 70 hours I put in the tune. Was I just listening for like 30
Space
hours?
bar.
Like, was it, yeah, just
Like you got to have some kind of
nothing happening.
like a timer on the mouse movement. So like after
Yeah.
the mouse hasn't moved or a keyboard shortcut hasn't been
Right.
pushed after 15 seconds, then it starts the inactive timer or whatever.
So the thing was, I think he tried to do this, but
it sounds
there
so
was something
difficult.
that you just like can't link it because it's a plugin. It's just its own kind of little universe
outside
in
of the
its box.
computer.
Yeah, and tracking something outside, you almost just like can't do with the technology we have. I think was the problem. So there'd have to be some sort of like standalone.
Or a third party like program that talks to the plugin
Yeah.
through the operating system.
Yeah, but that would be
Right,
fucking
exactly.
sick. I need
Super
to-
nerd stuff.
Seems like you could build something like that into
Yeah, I
a
bet
plugin.
ChatGPT or Grok could help you make it happen.
Gotta be a way, right? There's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Because that would be. I'd be
Dude,
so
just,
fascinated
hey,
to
just vibe code that shit. You know?
just vibe code it.
Just vibe code it.
Vibe code it.
I
dude.
wonder if you could use OSC,
What was that?
Open Sound Control. It's like, it's do you know what DMX is, or network like
You think
data?
that's a game?
So OSC can send is like the medium to send data between networks, and
Okay.
so you can use it with Touch Designer, and it's not commonly used for shows and stuff like that because it's more static, but it can track like anything in Ableton, like any parameter change.
MIDI?
It's not MIDI either. Yeah.
But it can track MIDI or it can't?
It can track. Oh yeah.
But it's not MIDI.
But it's not MIDI. Yeah.
And it runs over Ethernet. It runs over the network.
Yeah, it runs over the network.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if that would be a way to, and like creating Macs for live devices, you can route OSC data with them.
That makes sense.
Because I have some that I used for an art installation.
Sick. Excuse my reach.
Yeah, I worked with my buddy Phil, and he goes by Further Interfaces, and he does touch design, like generative touch designer stuff.
That's cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nerdy shit.
Nerd stuff. And we made an audio visual kind of like ambient loop.
Okay.
And like I made all the music and used parts of my album for it, and I also used like generative stuff to make make some of the music and like ambience.
So it's like a standalone little program. Like what is this? Or is it like an installation somewhere that I can go see, or what?
It was an installation at APOG.
Okay, sick.
Last year, yeah.
That's the Any Patch of Grass?
Yeah, Any Patch of Grass,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And so basically we had this giant wall.
Always puff on grass.
Always puff on grass.
Smoke weed every day. Sick.
And we projected onto a giant rectangle and then had speakers with it.
Fuck, I want to do shit like this. This sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we used OSC to send data from Ableton to Touch Designer so that it's fully audio reactive based off like the kind of triggers that I would send from Ableton into whatever he wanted to control with the visuals. So like it's not just like traditional audio reactive stuff where it takes a spectrum analyzer and you get like your kick and snare and stuff like that. You can get like more detail out of it. You can send MIDI, you can send frequency bands, like triggering like a high end.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking
It's so
crazy.
specific.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you can also track automation.
Okay,
so
cool.
you can control like when colors are going to change.
Oh my fucking God.
I feel like you could use this to like do a collab online where you just let somebody else over the network control your DAW. Like they're not controlling your computer, but they're just controlling their DAW, which is like mirroring your DAW. So like anytime they add a plugin on their DAW, your DAW just knows to add that plugin also. You can't see any of the mouse movements, but it's just it just refreshes every like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, it's your turn, and you just like let them go while you go smoke.
I want to have
There's no two
DAW.
projects.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Right.
That would be insane.
It's a two-player DAW.
Two-player DAW. I can't wait till if someone actually makes that.
I think there is a program for it now.
Really?
I know there's an online. There's an online DAW
the
that's
online
like that.
one.
Huh.
But a two-player DAW that's not technically online, but is via network.
Yeah.
Would
Dude,
be
I want
kind
that
of fun.
so fucking bad.
Especially if it's like on a plugin. So all you have to do is you just put the plugin on the master. It connects and talks.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
it knows who's using. The only
like Sonobus,
bummer-
but for controlling things.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which then you also have Sonobus hooked up, so you just can automatically hear everything also.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to that same problem Jack found was like having the VST just link to your computer in that way is just I don't know that kind of shit. So I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, that's beyond me.
We're probably a couple years out, but the network engineering, I bet, does exist.
Yeah,
I bet that
totally
does exist to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of network capabilities, we got some pod talks this week.
Ready for some TikTok
So,
Slayde?
We're gonna watch some TikToks and
And we just doom scroll for another hour.
correct.
Just all together.
Yeah,
doom scrolling.
together.
And this is the
It
part
would
of the
be fun.
podcast where we all doom scroll.
They might be informative. They might be dumb,
Okay.
but usually they all relate to sound of some kind.
Sick.
Folks, let's get you over here quick. Hopefully it's not too loud. Hey. All right. Let's see what this one is. It's quiet.
Is that
cannot
Chime's
hear.
brother?
It is Chom's
Chom.
brother. For some reason, we're not getting any audio, which is
There you go.
not bad. Calm down. Oh, I might have gotten a new mouse.
Oh,
Sick. Let's go.
I know, I'm very excited.
For the pod room?
Yeah, it's still about this size, but it's a lot better.
Cool. Is it pink?
No, it's red.
Oh.
Why is this
Mixing it
one
up.
so hard to find? There it is. Okay. Let's just reopen this for juju reasons.
This
docs.
plugin
Oh, yeah.
genuinely has changed my perspective on every piece of audio I will ever make again. The reason I say that is because this thing can reconstruct audio with wavetables. And I'll show you what I mean. The best way I can explain how this plugin works is that it
very
extracts
rate
8
heavy.
harmonics
Yeah.
in
You
the
noticed that
signal,
too, yeah.
and then it sends them to 2 built-in wavetable engines. So I have this chord progression here.
Yeah.
I'm going to completely reconstruct with these 2 wavetables. Dude! Now, instead of using 8, I can bring it down to 2, and you'll get this really, really weird lead effect.
Which is saucy.
Oh, that sounds nice.
The best part is that it's out now, and it's super, super cheap.
Chameleon.
It almost sounded
spectral
like a-
resynthesizer. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It kind of sounded like the spectral gate. Or that
Yeah.
lossy or Goldfast. I can't remember. Whatever that effect. I don't know if I liked the tone that much.
Is it free?
It's definitely spectrally.
Yeah, I'm sure there are ways to get it to sound cool.
It's
$10.
$10.
$10.
Damn, that's pretty good.
And it's mainly like, I want to feed it like weird stuff.
yeah.
And I'm not
For sure.
looking for it to really do me any good recreating. I want it just to make weird sounds that I'm not going to get anywhere else. And then, resample the hell out of that.
Chameleon. That's a fun name.
It is a fun name. And I really like that the interface is simple as fuck. It's not trying to be flashy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I trust that.
doing like something like that, you take like whatever your regular lead sound is that you have it going in your tune already, you throw it into that, and then you throw what it makes into a reverb, and then you set that thing back.
Right. So
And it's super unique, fucking
Yeah.
cool reverb that just kind of
right. That follows the lead line.
but
Yeah.
it's not the actual content.
Yeah. That's
So
such
it
a good idea.
sticks out from the actual thing better.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
free.
Shit like that's sick.
That's a
Let's go.
good idea.
That's a free
Well,
a free little
A free little
idea.
tip there on the end.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, do weird shit to your reverb.
Yes.
Oh, this guy.
oh
again.
yeah.
You love a mouth? Pop it.
You.
Spray it.
Yeah.
Spray it.
Pythagorize it. Granulate it. And reverberate it.
It's bath time.
Atmosphere.
We taking a bath.
I like that.
He's the goat.
That was fun.
There's nothing really to say with that
Guy's
other than
legendary.
Yeah,
like,
other than legend.
continue
So
to
insane.
use grain delay, folks.
Yeah, grain delay is pretty sick.
It is one of the things that Ableton has. The Bitwig doesn't. Like, it has some things that kind of like you can mash together to do a similar thing. But like in terms of just a thing you can throw on and immediately start having some heyday with, Bitwig doesn't have a thing like that.
No.
Bitwig has things that Ableton doesn't have, I will say. But
this is true.
Those were fun.
Yep, those are the two I got for this week.
Well, Mr. Slayde,
yeah, we've done
thank
an
you for coming, buddy. This
hour
was
and
great.
20 minutes.
Hell yeah, it flew by for
I
sure.
know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, hour 20.
Yeah, I thought we were at like a half an
dang.
hour, and I looked over and we were at an hour. I was like, oh shit, I should
shit.
I should get these pod talks up. Like, oh my god,
Damn.
just cruising.
Well, hell yeah, guys.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Go check out his new album,
Insula
Yeah.
by Slayde.
Yeah.
No, that's not his name. It's Slayde.
In certain context.
In reference to the new album, it is Slayde.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Let's go listen to this new album.
Where can people find you? On the internet?
Official Slayde on every social.
Love to hear
And
that.
then I just made a website, Slayde.music.
Oh,
let's go.
Yep.
Big ups.
cool.
Slayde.music.
The crowd
Let's
loves it. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. That was 209 with Slayde. Permanent, we see you. Inspector, thanks for hanging out. We didn't read any of your comments, Inspector. But I will real quick as we go into the outro. He says, I fucking love Inflator at Permanent. Don't record plugins often, but shit's so nice to have when you're looking for variation or inspiration.
Yeah.
Shout out. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.